In a recent interview, a popular human rights activist gave reasons why Simon Ekpa can never be extradited to Nigeria. According to him, Finland and Nigeria do not share an extradition treaty. Therefore, Simon Ekpa cannot be extradited unless specific agreements are in place. You know, there's this story that's been making waves lately, and it's one of those situations where the more you hear about it, the more questions pop into your head. It's about Simon Ekpa, a man who has become both a controversial and significant figure in the Nigerian conversation about the southeastern region and the push for Biafra's independence. Now, let me break this down for you in a way that feels like we're just having a friendly chat, because trust me, this topic can get pretty intense. So, Simon Ekpa is a Finnish-Nigerian citizen, and for those who don't know, he's been one of the leading voices advocating for Biafran independence. For many southeastern Nigerians, the idea of Biafra represents freedom, dignity, and self-determination. But for the Nigerian government, well, it's a whole different ballgame. They see Simon Ekpa as a destabilizing figure, someone stirring up unrest in an already volatile region. And this has led to quite a standoff. Here's the thing though, people have been wondering, why can't Simon Ekpa just be extradited to Nigeria if he's causing so much trouble? It turns out the answer is pretty straightforward, but the implications are anything but simple. Nigeria and Finland do not have an extradition treaty. It's as clear-cut as that. Without an official agreement between the two countries, Finland has no obligation to send Simon Ekpa to Nigeria, even if the Nigerian government desperately wants it to happen. And let me tell you, this has caused all sorts of speculation, frustration, and debate. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's take a step back and talk about why Simon Ekpa's story has gained so much attention. To understand the man, you have to understand the history of Biafra and the southeastern region of Nigeria. This is a part of the country that has been through a lot, and I mean a lot. Back in the late 1960s, Nigeria went through a brutal civil war. Some call it the Biafran War, that left millions dead, most of them from starvation. The southeastern region, which is predominantly home to the Igbo people, wanted to secede and form their own nation called Biafra. They felt marginalized and excluded from Nigeria's political and economic life. But the Nigerian government wasn't having any of that, and the war that followed was devastating. Fast forward to today, and many of those feelings of marginalization still exist. For a lot of Igbo people, not much has changed since the war ended. They feel like second-class citizens in their own country, and the Biafran dream hasn't died. It's just evolved. That's where people like Simon Ekpa come in. Simon Ekpa sees himself as a freedom fighter, someone standing up for the rights of his people. But to the Nigerian authorities, he's more of a thorn in their side, a man who uses his platform to criticize the government and call for secession. You can imagine how this sets the stage for a lot of tension. Now, let's get back to Finland, because this is where the story takes an interesting turn. Simon Ekpa is a Finnish citizen, and Finland isn't exactly the kind of country that rushes into things without considering all the angles. In fact, Finland is known for its strong commitment to human rights and the rule of law. This isn't a place where you can just show up, point fingers at someone, and expect them to be handed over. No, Finland operates differently. Everything has to go through proper legal channels, and there has to be evidence, hard evidence. And here's the kicker. Finland has reportedly received tons of evidence about human rights abuses in Nigeria, especially in the southeastern region. We're talking about videos, pictures, documents, you name it. Some of this evidence is said to show acts of violence by the Nigerian military and police. And get this, Finland supposedly installed over 150,000 hidden cameras across southeast Nigeria to monitor what's really going on. Can you imagine that? Cameras capturing real-time footage of what's happening on the ground. That's heavy stuff. This brings us to the heart of the matter. When Nigerian officials try to make a case against Simon Ekpa, they're up against all this evidence that shows their own government in a pretty bad light. It's like trying to win an argument when the facts are stacked against you. And Finland, being the country it is, isn't going to ignore all this evidence. They're not just going to send someone like Simon Ekpa back to Nigeria without considering the bigger picture. But wait, there's more. Finland has invited Nigerian officials to present their case multiple times. Christopher Musa, a top Nigerian military official, was reportedly invited to the International Criminal Court to discuss these issues. But guess what? He didn't show up. In fact, many Nigerian officials have been invited to Finland or other international forums to talk about the situation, but they either decline or ignore the invitations. Some people say it's because they're scared. Others think it's because they know they don't have a strong case. Now let's talk about Simon Ekpa himself for a moment. He's a polarizing figure, no doubt about it. To his supporters, he's a hero, a man fighting for justice and the liberation of his people. But to his critics, he's a troublemaker, someone stirring up unrest and making things worse. And then there's the Nigerian government, which sees him as a major problem. But here's where things get tricky. Simon Ekpa doesn't operate from Nigeria. He's in Finland, far away from the reach of Nigerian authorities. And as long as he's in Finland, he's essentially untouchable, at least for now. You see, extradition is a complicated process. It's not just about one country asking another to hand someone over. There has to be a treaty, a legal framework, and a solid case. And even then, the person being extradited has the right to challenge it in court. In Simon Ekpa's case, there's no treaty between Nigeria and Finland, so the whole idea of extradition is a non-starter. Even if the Nigerian government wanted to go after him, they'd hit a wall. And that's not all. Finland's justice system is based on fairness and transparency. They're not going to send someone back to a country where they might face torture, persecution, or an unfair trial. And let's be honest, Nigeria's justice system doesn't exactly have the best reputation. There have been countless reports of corruption, political interference, and human rights abuses. So, from Finland's perspective, sending Simon Ekpa back to Nigeria would be like throwing him into the lion's den. But here's the thing that really stands out to me. This whole situation isn't just about Simon Ekpa. It's about something much bigger. It's about the struggle for justice, freedom, and self-determination. It's about a region that has been fighting for its rights for decades and a government that has been trying to maintain control. And caught in the middle are ordinary people, farmers, traders, students, just trying to live their lives in peace. When you think about it, Simon Ekpa's story is just one chapter in a much larger narrative. It's a story about power, politics, and the enduring fight for equality. It's a story that's still unfolding, with no clear ending in sight. But one thing is for sure, it's a story that matters. It matters to the people of southeastern Nigeria. It matters to the international community. And it matters to anyone who believes in the principles of justice and human rights. So where does this leave us? Well, it's hard to say. The situation is complicated and there are no easy answers. But one thing is clear. The struggle for Biafra and the fight for justice in Nigeria aren't going away anytime soon. And as long as there are people like Simon Ekpa willing to speak out, the world will continue to pay attention. Whether you see him as a hero or a villain, there's no denying that his story is part of a much larger conversation, one that we all need to be a part of. You see, the situation involving Simon Ekpa and his fight for Biafran independence isn't just about one man shouting for change from across the world. It's about the ripple effect his words, actions, and influence are having on the ground in Nigeria, and even beyond. Now, here's what's really interesting. Simon Ekpa isn't the first person to take up this cause. Before him, there was Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, commonly referred to as IPOB. Nnamdi Kanu became a household name for many in southeastern Nigeria and among Biafran supporters worldwide. He was seen as the face of the Biafran independence movement, and just like Simon Ekpa, he faced intense backlash from the Nigerian government. The thing is, Nnamdi Kanu's story took a dramatic turn. He was arrested and imprisoned by the Nigerian government, and for a while, it seemed like his voice was silenced. But then, out of nowhere, Simon Ekpa stepped up and began to fill that void. Now, Simon Ekpa didn't just quietly slip into this role. Oh no, he made sure people knew who he was and what he stood for. And honestly, that's where things started getting even more complicated. You see, while Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu share the same goal, an independent Biafra, their methods and strategies haven't always aligned. And this has caused some division among Biafran supporters. Some people see Simon Ekpa as the rightful leader of the movement in Kanu's absence. They admire his passion, his ability to speak out from a place of safety in Finland, and his determination to keep the dream of Biafra alive. But others feel he's too radical, too aggressive, or just too different from Nnamdi Kanu's approach.
Let me release this information. Biafran country has over 150,000 hidden cameras all over Igbo communities and forests. All their perpetrated, activities, criminalities by the military or the police are well recorded. Now, Christopher Musa is being invited to ICC to go and honor that invitation. He fails to do so. Why? Fear of the unknown and guilty conscience. So how could anybody just see that Ekpa, that is defending his country, is invited by Nigerian government or should be extradited? No, we don't enjoy extradition treaty with Nigeria, no. Let me tell you, I will never deviate or stop from telling you that Nigeria and Finland don't have extradition pact or treaty. There should be an agreement in that regard. And if it has been, that is when, if found guilty, Ekpa will be extradited or imported into Nigeria. But Biafrans have submitted enough, much documented, even videos, pictures, evidence to the ICC and Finlandia nation. How Igbo man has been what? Been annihilated, decimated, marginalized, demised by Nigerian nation from 1970. Let me not just talk about 1967, 68, 69, 70 and so on and so forth, but I'm just saying 1970 till date. In a straight 8 years of a Buhari administration, the Igbo man, they committed much. I mean, Nigerian nation under Buhari administration committed much side in Igbo land. Mothers, fathers, children, the youths especially. And they think we are not recording all this. All these are what? On books, documented. Well documented. We have over, let me release this information. Biafran country has over 150,000 hidden cameras all over Igbo communities and forests. All their perpetrated, activities, criminalities by the military or the police are well recorded. Now, Christopher Musa is being invited to ICC to go and honor that invitation. He fails to do so. Why? Fear of the unknown and guilty conscience. So how could anybody just see that Ekpa, that is defending his country, is invited by Nigerian government or should be extradited? No, we don't enjoy extradition treaty with Nigeria, no. Finland is an advanced country. They maintain the best human rights record in the world. They don't violate you, you don't violate them. You can't violate Igbo man in Finland, you can violate Igbo man in Nigeria. And Nigeria can never, ever, could not be like Finland. So, nothing like that. See, during the invasion of Nnamdi Kanu's compound, there are many drones hovering all over Southeast. EU member nation watch it live. How Nigerian military, as it was at least commandeered by Buhari administration, to go to Nnamdi Kanu's palace for military onslaught that was too bloody. In fact, one of the bloodiest military operations of the recent time in this country, 28 Nnamdi Kanu followers were neutralized. I don't want to use other word that will stir up, neutralized on that compound. And on the palace of a king in Igbo land, you don't spill blood If you spill blood on the palace, you have committed sacrilege. We have tradition. We are from somewhere. So all those are in record. EU member nation watched it live. So at least we have still legal onslaught. We need to sort many things legally with Nigeria. It does not stop at invitation by ICC. They invited Nigerian government to go there. None of them has ever been able to honor that invitation. So we are having many scores to settle with Nigerian government. If you try Igbo man, you can't go scot-free.
Okay, thank you very much for that. But permit me to still go back to when you said there are cameras all over the place in the southeast. Why have we not been able to detect the unknown gunmen that have been terrorizing the Imos and all the other states in the southeast?
Thank you, madam. Igbo man can never be an unknown gunman. IPOB meaning you and I. Anybody that comes from Igbo land, the meaning of that English is IPOB. But they mistaken it, proscribe it into, people believing that is a terrorist organization. No, indigenous meaning the land. People of the land now, Biafra land. That one, we are not terrorists. I don't want to understand. So what I'm trying to say is that those camera or CCTV still remains our property. Everybody has right to secure his land. When it mattered most was when the headers encroachments across farmland in Igbo land. Various Igbo men traveling down east were always intercepted on the highways, commandeered into the bush. Not Igbo man. See, federal government is not doing anything about it because we are Igbos. They allow us to die on our problem, with our problem. But today, we are able to at least secure ourselves. Igbo man does not retract from being warriors. Igbo men are warriors. If we could hold Britain for 60 good years during the era of colonization, and Britain managed to escape us using the Bible to convince us to allow them in, who are the nomads? Who are the vandals? Who are the headers? They cannot match up with Igbo man's what? Superiority. We are there to secure our land. We are not against Nigerian government. We don't support anybody killing police or soldier in Igbo land. It is not our business. We don't do that. There are criminals and they are from Sahel countries. Nigeria don't want to treat that problem. They are all over Yoruba forest as I'm talking to you now. Amoteke has actually begun to witness what Nnamdi Kanu said many years ago. That what IPOB is doing, Yoruba, you are going to benefit. Align with us and set your land free. Today, it has come to be. All over Ondo Forest, Yoruba highlands and forests has been infiltrated by the headers that are constituting insecurity in the southwest. That is whom we are.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, I hope that whoever has the access to the CCTV should just bring forth so we can know who these unknown gunmen are, because it's really bothering us in the nation. Well, I was going to ask, since the arrest of Simon Ekpa, there have been a lot of divisions. There are some going for Dr. Ngozi, and then some others are going with Ogenkere. What's all this division about? It's showing that Biafra is not one, how do I put it? The one mind they're even talking about in Nigeria, they are not showing it in this case. What do you have to say about that?
There is bound to be problem if something like this want to happen. At least you've seen in other countries. There was a time we have Senegal, there was a time we had Senegal, we had Gambia. Then around 82-83, the two nations came together, Senegambia, to form a confederacy or confederation. A time came, Senegal and Gambia did what? Separated. If Biafra is coming up from the cradle as the newly, evolved or, evolved prince of Africa, our house is bound to have misunderstanding. Why? We are humans. They think that Igbo man is perfect, 100%. No. When Ngozi or Abueze, when Okere, when Simon Ekpa, followers begin to misunderstand themselves, we are all humans. I will always like to tell my viewers that no man is an island. No man is indispensable. How do you think that we'll be 100% correct or 100%? Yeah, it shouldn't be like that. We are human beings, and when something like that happens in a house, you will actually know that that house will last. I want to give you this English adage: a bad beginning is always having what? Good end. So when we have this issue presently, we are going to settle, and Biafra will do what? Excel. Then I want the rumor mongers to actually understand that not only Biafra lobbyists all over the world are invited to inauguration of the current United States 47th President, Donald Trump, the Biafran country is invited to grace that occasion in America. So what do they have to say this time around? Is that a misunderstanding? Is it going to bring chaos in Igbo land? No, we are going there. We actually have traced our ancestry to the Jews. And of course, I want to announce it to everybody listening to me that Donald Trump is a German Jews. What does it spell? I'm telling you that I come from Jews. You are telling me no. How can? Is it your business? If I tell you that I'm from Middle East Europe, that we are of God that gave birth to Eri that gave birth to the whole Anambra gave birth to the other Igbos, and the Jew, Igala, everybody. Why are you doubting me? It is my history. You concur now. You shouldn't say no. If you say no, it means you'll be jealous. Right now, you are jealous. So, when somebody is telling a story about himself, I agree. Key on. Don't be jealous. So, Oga, Donald Trump is inviting Biafrans to grace the occasion of his inauguration as number, is it for 7th United States President? Is that not going to be, is that not supposed to raise ripples? Social media speculations. Oh yeah, talk more. Criticize Biafra. I need the people to criticize Biafra the more. They want to find fault. Igbo man is na lie. Oga, wait to Igbo hate themselves, na lie. Oga, let me shock you. I left Igbo land. Though I have uncles, brothers that are billionaires in Lagos State. But the person that helped me today in this Lagos State is my Igbo brother. We are not of anything. When they talk about relative, no, not blood relative. He helps. Igbo man, they help themselves. They are the most united tribe in the world. And anywhere you go, you don't see an Igbo man. Run, no. Take off, run. If they see you, you're an Igbo, they will call you and help you. You will be managing somewhere, maybe in the veranda, hallway or corridor. From there, you will rise. Igbos are united. Forget about our detractors. It is our detractors that are telling us we are not united. It's a lie. The most united tribe in the world are the Igbos. If you go to Ethiopia today, on getting to Addis Ababa airport, Addis Ababa is the capital of Ethiopia, you must see an Igbo man there. If you don't see an Igbo man there, run, oh, run for your life. If you go to Japan today, on getting to Tokyo airport or China, you either land in Peking or Beijing, you will see all of them there. They will help you. Immediately you speak Igbo, they will help you. Still, Nigeria is saying that Igbos are not united. Are you more united than us? If you go to anywhere in Yoruba land, you will see Igbo man doing his business there, supporting the community, developing everywhere. If you go to Tube Market in Idiroko, you don't see Igbo man there at Tube Market. Run, no. Something is wrong. Run. If you go to Ipokia Market or Agochacha, Idiroko, if you don't see Igbo man there, run, no. Something is wrong. Oga, we are the most united tribe in Africa. And again, I want to shock you. If there's presidential election or any other election in Nigeria, in Kano State, the first tribe in Kano State is Hausa. If they count Hausa finish, if Hausa is 9 million, the next tribe there, they will count is Igbo. Go to Sokoto after casting vote in Sokoto, the first tribe there will be Hausa. The second tribe is Igbo. Go to Ondo and Ekiti after counting election, the first tribe there is Yoruba, the Karojiri tribe. The following tribe is Igbo. Oga, we are the most populated tribe in Africa. They are using politics to tell us that we are small. Oga, we are much populated. Join together the whole ethnicity in Nigeria. We are on the rise. We are the highest. My name is Raf.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ralph. Still on the division matter, it was alleged that the DOS that was involved in the arrest of Simon Ekpa, he brought evidence against him, and this really made Simon Ekpa to feel bad. I don't know if you have anything to say about that.
I've never been able to involve myself on this argument of DOS. DOS, this fashion, this division, this group among the Biafran people. I've never been able to involve myself on that. And everybody, people that are following me will actually understand that I don't involve myself on that. I don't believe in division of Biafra. What I see is controversy. Controversy must always occur in any group. There must be misunderstanding. How could DOS work against Ekpa to be arrested? Wait, listen now. I'm the respondent here. Who arrested Ekpa in the first place? Nobody. I told you that Finland pranked on Nigeria. First one. So that Nigeria will be jubilating. Hey, they don't catch him. Oh. Now lie. Finland did not arrest Simon Ekpa. They didn't. He was invited. That invitation, now Nigerian government under this CDS, Chief of Defence Staff, started singing, bring him home, they will bring him home, he will die. Do you think you can man that has not committed any offense, especially a Finland citizen? Do you think Finland is like Nigeria, whereby people will cast votes, express or explain their choice, make it clear to the umpire INEC, yet one Mahmoud Yakubu will sit on it, give them the wrong choice, carry the mandate, give the wrong person? It is not like that in Finland. Finland is an advanced country from Scandinavian Europe. They are more advanced than Britain. That's Nigeria believe that since Britain is our colonial master, that Britain is the most advanced country in the world is a lie. The most advanced countries, let me not say one, countries in the world are number one: Finland, Iceland, Oslo, that's Norway, Denmark. What's the name of this country? Their capital is called to. Oh my God. What's the name of this country? They are white, you know. They have white hair too. Stockholm. Stockholm is their capital. See, let me tell you. They are the most advanced country in Europe. These Scandinavian countries I named below are all ice, covered by ice in their land. They are more advanced than UK. Most developed country in the world. You can never see somebody from this Scandinavian Europe in London. Now lie, London is like Lagos. They live well. Denmark, they are living well. Finland is living well. Are you listening to me? Iceland, they are living well there. Finland is sharing border with Russia. That is what they don't know. Nigeria think they will play game with Finland. No. If you give them money, they will bring their money back. That's why they throw over $100 million into Biafra donor account so that Finland will arrest Simon Ekpa. How come about this huge amount of money? Is it for drug or for sponsoring terrorism? That's why they invited him over that money. And it was Peter Mbane, Enugu State Governor, that threw that money. Federal government met him, he paid the money so that they will arrest Simon Ekpa. Okay, madam, sorry. I don't involve myself on anything DOS or whatever. I believe they are all my brothers. When we have issue, we will let us settle. That is it. Biafra has come.
Thank you, Mr. Ralph. But do you think Simon Ekpa is still in the custody? Is he still in the custody of the Finnish government?
They will tell you that he's in custody, so Nigeria will be happy. Simon Ekpa is enjoying himself, only that he has no access to his social media platform. In custody, say he did what? Some person set him up. What I'm saying now, they are not happy. He can't be. You don't want Igbo man to talk again. And when you know that I don't enjoy Nigerian soldiers dying, I don't enjoy police dying, they are our brothers. But when they cause trouble among themselves, they begin to die. And you expect us to be happy? No. But in a situation whereby you are children, mother, fathers, using fathers against farmers in Enugu forest everywhere, We are not happy about it. And this is what Ekpa is fighting. Nigeria has succeeded on bringing down ESN. Nobody is talking about ESN again. The people that has been securing our forest and farmland, when others were encroaching on the land, farmlands of Igbo, in Igbo land, the ESN went there and stopped them. ESN, Eastern Security Network. Nigeria has written many petitions against them. They are terrorists, blah, blah. When they say secure our land, they don't. You want us to be dying? We value our mothers and fathers. We value our youths. We value our farmers. We value our lands. You can't snatch Igbo man land away from him. It is impossible. And this thing I'm telling you, Nigerian country, they know. Because they fought us 67, 68, 69. We fall in by defending our land. We did not fight Nigeria. We are defending. And we know actually what we did to Nigeria. You can't take Igbo man land away from him unless you pay money, he will give you his land. But forcefully, if you try it, you will actually know that we are warriors.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.